All right. Fait que bonsoir tout le monde. Il y a d'autres mondes. Fait, bonsoir tout le monde. Bienvenue sur l'appel avec Gregg Strynadka. Fait félicitations à tout le monde. C'est pas tout le monde qui le sait parce qu'il y a des nouveaux qui viennent d'arriver dans l'entreprise. Mais on avait lancé un concours en fait pour le mois d'octobre. Puis le concours, en fait, c'était vraiment un concours, c'était vraiment un concours d'équipe, c'était un concours collectif. Donc, c'était quoi réellement le concours collectif? Ben, c'était d'avoir au-dessus de 100 invités présents. Ça, by the way, 100 invités, c'était beaucoup parce qu'on n'avait jamais fait ça dans le passé. Josiane pourrait peut-être nous confirmer, mais je crois que notre record arrivait dans les alentours de plus ou moins 80 invités présents dans un mois. Donc, 100, c'était vraiment de mettre la barre haute. Puis, on l'a juste éclaté. Comme solide. Je ne sais pas c'est quoi le chiffre exact, mais je sais qu'on a largement surpassé le 100 invités. Je pense qu'on a finalisé peut-être 120 invités présents au total. Donc, pour vrai, good job. Par la suite, le deuxième défi, c'est d'avoir 40 000 points système en 30 jours. Puis, à vrai dire, on a fait 66 000 points sur le système en 30 jours. Fait que ça, c'est un autre record. Puis, par la suite, le troisième défi, ben, c'est de faire, à vrai dire, d'avoir plus que 20 nouveaux agents qui ont adhéré à l'entreprise en 30 jours. Puis, on a fini avec 24, qui a été un record aussi au bureau en tant qu'équipe directeur de marketing. Fait qu'on a battu les records, en fait, dans toutes les catégories par rapport à ça. Il faut dire qu'en plus, on a eu une PGE en moins ce mois-là, parce qu'on a eu l'événement à Saint-Sauveur en plus. Fait l'événement à Saint-Sauveur, à l'évidence, ça a donné un gros boost aussi, mais on a quand même eu une PGE en moins. Fait que juste pour ça, je voulais dire félicitations et une bonne main d'applaudissement à tout le monde pour avoir réussi ça. Ben, c'était le challenge que Greg nous avait envoyé, puis on l'a réussi vraiment haut la main. Fait good job tout le monde. Je ne vais pas prendre trop de temps pour faire l'introduction parce qu'il est déjà 33 puis je vais avoir le plus de temps possible pour maximiser l'appel de ce soir. Donc, il va y avoir 4 personnes qui vont poser des questions à Greg ce soir. Donc, prenez des notes. Sérieusement, c'est rare qu'on peut avoir quelqu'un comme Gregg Strynadka qui est avec nous ce soir. Greg fait partie du top 25 de la compagnie. Top 25 de la compagnie. Il est sur la ligne du 3 millions de dollars de revenus par année. Ça fait environ 20 ans qu'il est dans l'entreprise. C'est lui qui a mentoré, c'est lui qui a coaché Jason Bergeron. C'est vraiment un honneur pour nous de l'avoir avec nous ce soir. Donc, je vais juste laisser Holly pouvoir introduire en anglais rapidement Greg. Puis par la suite, je vais reprendre la balle juste pour introduire la première personne qui va poser la question à Greg.
So hi, Greg. Welcome to this call. I'm here to translate a little bit in English because I'm sure you understood a little bit of all of that, but I just want you to understand everything he said because it's very important for us to recognize you and just be grateful that you're here and give a little context. I know you know what the context is since that you gave the challenge to Kevin, which we're very grateful for. So it was to make over 40,000 points. And they were all records for the team. So for the Kevin Sharp team, and over 100
yes.
guest BPM, sorry, and 20 new agents that become in our team, and we all broke those records. And the 24 agents in 1 month was the record also for the office. So we're very happy about that. And it was all a team effort. So we wanted it to be a team effort, and also the people could compete to ask a question. So that's why we built it that way. And we are very grateful for your coaching, your support, your person, and to just have access to you to ask you questions. And we're very grateful that you are such good friends with Jason and Samantha, that you just are the best human that we know, that are close to us, that are like mentors us so kindly. So thank you very much. We won't take all the time for the intro, so we'll let people ask you questions, and after, if we need it, we'll translate a little bit in French.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much, Holly. That was very, very, very kind words. And I do apologize that I cannot speak French for all of you tonight. I wish that I could. If I could, I would. But if you ever need to stop me and do a little bit of translation or anything like that, please do. But I would love to start just by congratulating everyone on that incredible accomplishment, meeting those numbers from that challenge. Those were very, very, very big numbers. And in the process, this team has now earned a promotion to being an SMD team. So a huge congratulations to all of you, and especially yourself. Kevin, I know your commitment level. I know how hard you worked. I know how much you care. My hope is that every single one of you moved closer to your goals as that SMD promotion was happening. That's my hope, is that you all moved closer to whatever your goals were, whether that was a promotion or helping some families, earning some income, getting licensed, whatever it was. I hope you moved closer to where you wanted to be. And just imagine at some point, right, we have 33 people on this call right now, and in 6 months or 12 months or maybe 2 years, each of you, any of you, could have a call like this with this many people with your team, because it was not very long ago that Kevin started out just brand new and didn't have anybody on his team. So congratulations, all of you. Thank you for having me. And I'll pass it back to you, Kevin, wherever you'd like to start.
Yes, thank you, Greg. Donnez une bonne main de l'applaudissement, s'il vous plaît, pour Greg. Donc, premièrement, on va commencer par inviter les gens qui ont qualifié pour poser des questions à Greg. Donc, en fait, on a Émilie Gervais qui a qualifié pour poser une question à Greg pour avoir eu un agent qui a terminé ses 4 examens de certification. On a Dominique Lausier qui a fini en première position au niveau des points personnels. On a Adam Lupien qui a fini en première position en termes de cash flow. Et on a Mathieu Drouin qui est en direct de l'hôpital en ce moment parce qu'il y a un nouveau-né. Donc, félicitations encore, Mathieu Drouin, pour ton nouveau-né. Ça s'est passé cette nuit, qui a été numéro 1 dans les invités et les recrues pendant le mois d'octobre. C'est Oli, si tu peux juste peut-être rajouter.
Yeah, we're just so happy because Mathieu Drouin just had his baby tonight. So he is at the hospital right now. They just had their little boy. So that's what he was saying. And I didn't catch all the reasons, but like everyone qualified for like points, recruits. Emily was for her first certification. Dominique was her personal points. Adam was his cash flow, and Drouin was his invites and his recruits. So he had 2 questions.
Yes. So, félicitations à tout le monde qui a qualifié par rapport à ça. Donc, la première personne que j'aimerais amener sur l'appel à poser la question, les femmes d'abord. Fait qu'on va demander à Émilie Gervais de pouvoir embarquer sur l'appel. On va l'inviter sur le spot. Donc, guys, félicitez Émilie Gervais.
Bonjour, Emily. Hello, my friends.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
Yeah, so we're seeing each other again. So last time that I saw you, I know that I had a lot of questions for you, and I was in a kind of tight spot, but everything worked out.
And you got your license now, right?
I got my license.
Yes. I asked Sam about it. She told me.
So now things can move forward. So I talked a little bit about it with some people in my team, so that I could ask a question who would also benefit other people, not just myself. And on my team, there is also a few people, if I can say it that way, that have to start off diving into WFG full-time right off the bat. So I wanted to ask you, if that were the case for someone, what actions would you suggest someone do, and how would you prioritize them in order to create cash flow and also a sustainable business?
All right, great question. And in Quebec, there are more careers that are not allowed to do this part-time. So in Alberta, there's still some, but there's definitely more in Quebec. And I choose to look at the positive, that if somebody has to come full-time. If they make that choice, if they feel like that's what's best for them and their family, then it should force them to be very, very committed and work very, very, very hard. But and this would be my answer for a lot of different questions. And even when I think back to, so I think most of you know I've been doing this now for about 20 years. In January, it will be 20 years. And when I was part-time, the number one most important thing that I focused on was getting on new appointments. And when I came full-time, the number one most important thing that I focused on was getting on new appointments. So the answer to the question is if somebody was having to come full-time, and of course they have to choose that that's the right thing for them, right? Just because that's what the AMF says doesn't mean that they actually have to quit their job to come in and do this full-time. Then the most important thing that they need to focus on is getting in front of brand new people every single week. Because this business to me always has been, and it always will be, a numbers business. If you talk to enough people, then some people will meet with you. If you meet with enough people, then some people will want to join your team and some people will want to be your clients. If you talk to one or two people, maybe they'll say yes, maybe they'll say no. If you have meetings with one or two people, maybe they'll say yes, maybe they'll say no. But if you start to talk to 5 people or 10 people, then it's almost guaranteed that somebody is going to say yes. And then if you end up meeting with, let's say, 5 people or 10 people, then it's almost guaranteed that somebody will be interested in something. But to add to that, one of the mistakes that I see people make is that when they work at their job, how many hours do most people work, especially if they have a decent job? They probably work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, something along those lines. And then when they come full-time in WFG, now all of a sudden they might only work 20 hours in their WFG business. And they're going shopping more, and they're cutting the grass more, and they're painting their fence, and they're driving here, and they're driving there, and they're doing this, and they're doing that. And then, so they were working 40 or 50 hours a week for somebody else to make somebody else money. But when it comes to them then working for themselves, they often work much, much, much less. So having the discipline to work at least the same number of hours when you come full-time at WFG as the number of hours that you were putting in at your full-time job. And because most people, they just don't do it. I always think about this gentleman. His name was John, and this is about 15 years ago. John had a job in the oil field. He was some kind of mechanic making quite a bit of money. I think maybe around $140,000 a year. And he made $50,000 with us part-time, and him and his wife made a decision that he was going to come full-time. Now, when he had his job, he would be away from his family, sometimes for 12 days in a row, 14 days in a row. In Alberta or in the oil field, they call that a camp job, where somebody actually goes and lives up in a camp. So he would be gone for 12 to 14 days at a time. So then they made a decision that he was going to quit his job and come full-time. And then when he came full-time, now all of a sudden he had time to do everything. He was renovating his house, and he was driving his kids to every single, and I'm not saying he shouldn't have been driving his kids, obviously, but obviously he wasn't driving his kids when he was living away from home, when he was working. And then he never, ever made enough money to stay full-time, because he was busy doing all of these other things. And then he ended up leaving WFG and going and getting his old job back. Whereas when he came full-time, if he would have just put in the same number of hours at WFG as he did at his job, then he would have been able to stay full-time. He would have bought his life back, and his life would be very, very different today. As far as I know, he's still a mechanic living away from his family.
Nice.
Great question, Emily.
Thank you.
Est-ce que ça répond bien à ta question, Emily?
Oui, moi, ça répond à ma question. Il fallait-tu qu'on
Parfait.
fasse la traduction? Parce que, en tout cas, Holly peut le faire ou je peux le faire. Non, je peux.
Si tu te sens à l'aise de le faire, je vais te laisser le faire, vu que c'est ta question. puis je vais essayer de...
OK. Ben, dans le fond, ce que Greg avait à dire, ben, premièrement, ma question, c'était pour ceux là, qui doivent commencer dans WFG à temps plein, direct en partant. C'était mon cas, puis c'est le cas de quelques autres personnes sur l'équipe. Dans le fond, je voulais savoir, selon Greg, c'était quoi les meilleures actions à faire, puis dans quel ordre il allait prioriser ces actions-là. Donc, en premier, il a dit que peu importe si on était à temps partiel ou à temps plein, la première chose qu'on devrait faire, c'était d'être présent sur plus de rendez-vous. Donc, se trouver des rendez-vous à chaque semaine, être en rendez-vous. Puis après ça, il a dit être en rendez-vous. Fait que je pense que c'est un point qui est assez important selon lui. Puis il a dit que justement, il considère que le groupe financier mondial, c'est un numbers game. Là, donc, plus qu'on va voir de gens, plus qu'on va avoir un résultat. Même si c'est 1, 2, 3, 10 je ne sais pas ça serait combien les chiffres, mais plus qu'on va voir de personnes au final, plus on a de chances de se ramasser sur un rendez-vous, quelqu'un soit intéressé, soit à l'opportunité de carrière ou à l'opportunité finance. Donc, peu importe qu'est-ce qui arrive, si on voit le plus de personnes possible, c'est ça qui va faire la différence au final. Puis le troisième point qu'il a mentionné aussi, c'est que quelque chose qu'il a vu souvent dans le passé, c'est que les gens, mettons, ils commencent à temps partiel ou peu importe, ils ont un travail où ils travaillent 35-40 heures par semaine. Puis là, après ça, ils font le saut à temps plein avec WFG. Puis là, tout d'un coup, ils trouvent qu'ils ont plein de temps pour aller magasiner, faire plein d'autres choses qui n'ont pas nécessairement rapport avec le travail. Donc, il a dit c'est vraiment important que quand on prend la décision de venir à temps plein dans le groupe financier mondial, on travaille le même nombre d'heures qu'on aurait travaillé à notre travail où est-ce qu'on avait un boss, tu sais, dans le fond. Parce que c'est ça qui va faire la différence entre si on peut soutenir le rythme WFG en travaillant ou non, c'est que dans le fond, si on ne travaille pas vraiment à temps plein en nombre d'heures, ben c'est ça qui va faire la différence au final.
Wow, nice. Merci pour le résumé. Pour vrai, c'était incroyable. Ça coche. Merci beaucoup pour vrai, Émilie. Fait qu'on va tout de suite passer à la deuxième personne pour essayer de respecter le plus possible le temps. J'aimerais accueillir sur l'appel une autre femme, une militaire qui est en train de bâtir une grosse équipe en ce moment. Donc, s'il vous plaît, aidez-moi à accueillir pour la personne qui est qualifiée en termes de points perso, Dominique Laugier. Tu peux faire la petite traduction après parce que je sais que tu peux ici.
Ouais. Hi, sir. Well, it's more an ex-military. I retired last March 22, so no longer in the military. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll ask the question first to you, then I'll translate the question and you'll have a few minutes to think about the answer, maybe. So yeah, I consulted my team as well. So this question is from the team. And so what's the magic formula, beside a lot of hours and hard work to get to 100K per year, ASAP? Donc, la question pour tout le monde, c'est une question que j'ai consulté mon équipe et que ça vient de mon équipe finalement. Donc, c'est quoi la formule magique? Mis à part beaucoup d'heures et beaucoup de travail dur, là, de hard work, d'efforts dans notre travail pour arriver à 100 000 par année le plus vite possible.
All right. So I don't know how the word shortcut translates from English to French. Does that work? Shortcut?
Raccourci.
So the question about getting to 100K as quickly as possible, aside from hard work and some of those other answers, which those other answers would probably be the top ones, but to come up with an answer other than that to get there as quickly as possible is to have as many of your appointments as possible with people that actually want and need our products and services. So just to expand on that a little bit, over the course of my career, what I've always talked about is meeting with people that have as many of these three qualities as possible. They own a home, they're married or in a committed relationship. I know Quebecers don't get married maybe as much as other Canadians do. So own a home, married, or have children. And if somebody has at least one of those qualities, then we can probably help them. If they have 2 of those qualities, then it's very likely that we could help them. And if they have 3 of those qualities, then it's almost guaranteed that we could help them. So if somebody is going to do, let's say 10 appointments, and you do 10 appointments with people that are 20 years old that don't really care about their money, which of course some 20-year-olds do, but just let's say a lot of them don't, maybe most of them don't. Or if you do 10 appointments with people that are 30 or 40 years old and they own a home or they have children, then you're likely to get a very different result from your appointment when you meet with people that have 1 or 2 or 3 of those qualities. And so something that I'm not sure if I talked about this when I was in Quebec last month or not, but I started in this business very, very young. I was only 22. So a lot of people that I knew were 22. So if I was talking to and recruiting younger people, then when I was helping them get started in the business, what I was trying to do was to get into their market that would meet at least one of those criteria. So I would try to meet, if I recruited somebody younger, I would try to meet with their parents or their aunts and uncles, or if they have older friends, that type of thing. I always want to meet, we do want to help anyone, but when somebody is new, especially, or if you're looking for the shortcut or for the fast track, then meeting with people that actually want and actually need our products is a faster way to do it and is a shortcut to get to 100K.
OK. Kevin, do you want to translate? Est-ce que tu traduis ou?
Non, ben écoute, je sais que tu es bilingue. Est-ce que tu es à l'aise de traduire? Ou tu veux qu'Ali traduise?
Je peux me lancer, puis écoute, elle pourra compléter si j'oublie des choses. Là.
Bon.
Dans le fond, excuse-moi.
Vas-y.
OK. Donc, dans le fond, ce qu'il dit, Gregg, c'est qu'il faut avoir le plus de rendez-vous possible avec des gens qui ont besoin et puis qui veulent les produits qu'on a à offrir. Donc, il y a 3 critères vraiment importants quand on sélectionne, ou en tout cas, c'est sûr qu'on offre tout à tout le monde qu'ils veulent, mais si on peut sélectionner des gens avec soit une maison, soit mariés ou en couple, là, conjoint de fait, ce genre de choses, ou avec des enfants. Donc, c'est des qualités qui sont vraiment plus propices à avoir besoin de notre aide pour les services qu'on a à offrir. Donc, on peut faire plusieurs rendez-vous. Même si on est jeune, on va faire des rendez-vous, mettons, avec des gens de notre âge. Mais ce qui est important, c'est de rentrer dans le marché de ces gens-là, puis de cibler les gens qui ont ces 3 critères-là et leur présenter là, nos produits. Puis, c'est dans ces rendez-vous-là qu'on risque d'avoir de meilleurs résultats. Donc, même si on est jeune, c'est pas un obstacle finalement parce qu'on rentre dans le marché de ces gens-là puis on peut développer de cette façon-là. Je pense que ça couvre à peu près tout. Si j'ai pas...
Yes.
C'est bon?
Nice.
Thank you very much, Gregg.
Merci, Dominique.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, at the end of the day, just to add on that, it's the ROI, right? So you want to help everyone, but you just want to get where you want, and you want to help the people that need it the most. So à la fin de la journée, c'est le retour sur ton investissement dans ton temps. Fait qu'on veut garder la mission, on veut aider tout le monde, mais la réalité, c'est que les gens qu'on aide le plus, c'est les gens qui sont prêts à se faire aider, qui sont dans un marché où ils ont besoin le plus de notre aide. Puis ensuite de ça, rien n'empêche d'aller voir des gens qui ont une vingtaine d'années qui ne sont pas rendus là. Puis juste de s'assurer de passer dans leur marché, comme dommage.
Yes, merci Ali. Donc, on va y aller tout de suite avec la prochaine personne pour accélérer un peu. La prochaine personne, c'est quelqu'un qui l'a vraiment éclaté en première position dans le cash flow. En ce moment, il est en première position sur le tracker, si je ne me trompe pas, pour les points. Il a déjà aidé 10 familles, il a déjà à peu près 10 000 points sur le tracker. Ce mois-ci, à l'espace de 2 semaines, c'est un militaire, un père de famille. Donc, s'il vous plaît, aidez-moi à féliciter et à accueillir Salut Pierre!
Hi, Greg. How are you?
No, brother.
How are you?
Very good. How about you?
Very good. Thanks for asking. My question would be, when you had ups and downs, either in the business or in your personal life, what tricks or tool or mindset did you use to keep yourself focused and motivated? And if you never had down in the business or in your personal life, then just cancel my last question and please tell me how did you do to never had down through your path?
Well, every single person, myself included, has had down days and down times. And so I can answer this question fairly easily. So for myself, and it's hard to think of now because now been doing this for 20 years. We have about 1,500 licensed agents on our team. We have all of these promotions and all of these incredible leaders that are happening on our team. So it's crazy to think that there was actually times that I thought about quitting in the business a long time ago. And so I'm sure if that happened to me, I'm sure that's happened to some of you as well. The first thing that I remember thinking about, and there's a lot of different answers I could give on this question, but one of them is, I remember thinking, okay, if I'm not going to do this and I'm going to go do something else, what else can offer me everything that this business could offer me? And so when I think about the three biggest things, I think, and because there's so many, but the three biggest things that this business offers is we get to do something that actually helps people. So it feels good to do this business, right? We can make a lot of money because we work in an industry that is high paying. There's residual income. We can build a team, so we can build a business, and we can have flexibility of time, especially now that we can do appointments and meetings on Zoom and that type of thing. So when this business got hard, I remember thinking, okay, this business is harder than I thought. If I'm going to go do something else, what am I going to go do? What am I going to go and do that can do all of those things for me? And then when I thought about it, I couldn't think of anything else that could do all of those things. And so then that helped me shift my thinking, because I think we all go through this, is we go through, some of us, we think, well, this would be an awesome business. It would be awesome to make money, and it would be awesome to do this. And then there's some people that don't just think, well, it would be great to do this. There's some people that think, I have to do this. I have to figure this out. And that was me. So I didn't think, oh, this would just be fun. This would be good to do. It would be great to be successful. I remember thinking, this is the best business that I've ever seen. This is the only business I know of that can do all of these things for me. So I have to figure it out. I have to find a way. And the other answer that I'll give you very, very quickly is I shifted my thinking. Instead of feeling sorry for myself when this business got tough, I tricked myself into thinking that I was happy that this business was hard. And simply the way that I did that is I realized that if this business was easy, everybody would be doing it and there would not be very much opportunity. And so then I remember thinking, I'm the kind of person that I'm willing to do what it takes. I'm willing to work hard. I'm willing to face rejection. I'm willing to work on the evenings. I'm willing to work on the weekends. I'm willing to do all of those things. Most people will not be willing to do all of those things. I am willing to do all of those things. So I'm going to deserve to be successful because I'm willing to do things that most people are not willing to do. So that's a couple, ways that, I think about that. And then maybe the last thing that I'll mention is, especially with the way things are in the world right now, the world is so negative. You turn on the news, everything's negative. And, even right now, there's lots of people that are sick and kids are missing school. And it's it's exhausting. My wife was sick for 2 or 3 weeks. One of my children missed a week of school. Now my other child is sick. I was sick this week. It's a time where it's easy to feel sad or upset or disappointed or angry or something like that. So whenever I start to feel that way, one of the things that I remind myself is, it's okay. I'm human, right? You're human. It's okay to feel sad or upset or disappointed or down. It's okay. We're human. But what I've told myself is it's okay to feel that way. It's just not okay to stay feeling that way. Because if I stay feeling that way, that's not going to help get me to the life that I want to have. So it's okay that I had a bad day yesterday, or I had a bad morning, or it's okay. I'm human. But it's not okay for me to just let myself stay that way forever. Because if I stay that way forever, then I'm not going to get where I want to go. So that was a really good topic. I hope that helped.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Greg. Thank you very much. I'm just going to translate very quick in French. Ma question, c'était quand tu as des hauts et des bas dans ta business ou dans ta vie personnelle, c'est quoi les trucs, les outils, ton mindset que tu vas utiliser pour te garder focus ou te garder motivé? Puis, tu sais, si tu as jamais des hauts et des bas, c'est quoi ton truc pour ne jamais avoir de hauts et des bas? La réponse de Greg fut de se demander quel business, quel travail au monde qui te permet d'avoir les choses que WFG te permettent. C'est-à-dire de pouvoir aider des gens, comme on le fait, de pouvoir, tu sais, c'est quand même un très bon travail rémunératif parce qu'on peut avoir un résiduel, on peut builder une équipe, puis aussi avoir la flexibilité de ton temps, de ton horaire. Fait que tout ça mis ensemble, il n'y a pas beaucoup d'autres business, beaucoup d'autres modèles d'affaires qui te le permettent de le faire. Fait qu'il s'est dit, je dois trouver un moyen de faire en sorte que ça marche. Parce que c'est le modèle d'affaires pour moi. Aussi rapidement, de pas se sentir désolé, mais plus de se sentir heureux par rapport à ce qu'il y ait des difficultés, parce que si c'était facile, tout le monde le ferait. Right? Everyone would do it. Mais parce que c'est dur, parce qu'il y a des défis, ben c'est offert juste, cette opportunité-là est offerte juste à ceux qui veulent vraiment mettre le cœur à l'œuvre. Puis la dernière chose, c'est que même si tu as des downs, parfois, c'est OK, c'est correct de se sentir comme ça. On est tous humains. Au final, le truc, c'est juste de pas rester dans cet état-là. C'est un jour de se sortir de cet état-là. Donc, c'est un petit peu la translation pour moi. Merci.
Wow.
Super.
Super question, super bonne réponse. Pour vrai, merci pour la question, Adam. On y va avec le seul, l'unique, le dernier. C'est Ali qui va poser la question parce qu'il est à l'hôpital en ce moment, parce que, comme je l'ai dit tantôt, il vient d'avoir son enfant. Donc, Mathieu Drouin, qui a terminé en première position dans 2 catégories, dont j'ai quand même le spotlight. C'est Mathieu Drouin qui a fini première position dans les invités. Puis, tu sais, qui dit premier dans les invités, dit probablement premier dans les revues. Fait que c'est l'agent qui a eu le plus d'invités, mais c'est celui qui a souhaité la bienvenue au plus de nouveaux stagiaires également. Donc, Holly va pouvoir poser les 2 questions de Mathieu Drouin. Donc, Holly, je te laisse la parole.
Hi. So his first question was a quick. I think it will be a quick question. Is what's the most important thing that you got in your life that you wouldn't have without WFG? What has WFG brought you that you would not have anyone else?
Yeah, I can't imagine another career where I would have so much fulfillment that it would feel so good to do, because everything that we do for our clients, it helps change their lives. And then when we recruit agents and it gives them an opportunity to earn extra income and maybe change their job and get into a positive environment and all of those types of things. So I don't think I could have found another business where I would have been able to do that. I also don't think I could have found another business where I would make this much money. And I also don't think that I could have found another business where I could have had this much flexibility with my time compared to this one. So that's an easy answer.
Yeah, it totally completed the last question. It was like a nice wrap up of the last question. So he said that il a dit que dans le fond, c'est juste définitif que le sentiment d'accomplissement, il l'aurait pas retrouvé ailleurs de aussi grande qualité avec ce qu'on est capable de faire à chaque jour, d'aider les gens à bâtir leur vie, choisir leur vie, puis vraiment avoir le choix dans la vie, parce que les finances, c'est un point culminant de la vie, de faire autant d'argent, puis aussi la flexibilité. À l'évidence, il ne faut pas prendre acquis trop de bonheur, mais un jour, on la mérite et on la savoure.
Nice. Fait maintenant, la deuxième question de Macédoine.
So the next question is, how would you sell the dream to someone who's completely new in WG and that you might not have some personal friendship with her or him or her? Because most people don't really think that they can dream big. So like, how do you build that relationship and just?
Yeah. And I'm not really too worried whether people dream really big or not, ever, but especially at the beginning. And so I try to just simply ask a few questions to find out what's important to them. So some things with your job now and in the past, what are the things that you've enjoyed the most? What are the things that you've enjoyed the least? So I can find out what they like and I can find out what they don't like. And then I can simply just ask, do you have any goals that you're working towards in your life right now? Let's say over the next 5 years or 10 years. And then because you're right that most people don't really talk about this. So if they're not saying anything or if they're not offering anything up, then I might start to give them ideas. I might say, for example, do you own a home? And if not, is that something that you'd like to do one day? Do you wish that you could travel more? And if you could, what are some of the places that you would like to be able to see? Do you have anybody in your family that's extra special to you that you would like to be able to do something for them, take them somewhere or do something for them? And again, I'm not too worried if people are not thinking big, that, they want to make $1 million and they want to live in a mansion. I'm not too worried about that because I think most people, especially when they first come to our business, they don't really think that way. And this is also a good reminder that what we're trying to do is we're trying to motivate people to whatever their goals are. So if I recruit Mathieu, the things important to him in his life that he wants might be different from mine. So if I just tell him, well, here's what's important to me and here's what I've been able to do, but that might not be important to him. So it's important that I try to motivate him towards whatever is most important to him.
Wow.
Yeah. So a little traduction. Dans le fond, au bout de la ligne, c'est vraiment à propos de la personne, au même titre que pour nos clients, au même titre que pour nos agents. Au bout de la ligne, tu peux parler deux langages complètement différents puis motiver avec tes objectifs, mais ça n'aura aucun impact si la personne n'est pas du tout rendue là. La plupart des gens ne vont pas penser Ferrari, des châteaux, des voyages extraordinaires. Les gens ont un peu oublié de rêver dans leur vie parce qu'ils n'ont peut-être pas le véhicule pour le faire. Fait que c'est de commencer où est-ce qu'ils sont, de leur demander c'est quoi leur but actuel, puis si jamais ils en ont pas parce que malheureusement, ils ont juste pas, ils se sont pas permis de rêver encore dans leur vie, ben c'est de leur donner quelques idées. Est-ce que ça c'est important pour toi? Est-ce que ça c'est important pour toi? Puis ensuite, ben c'est juste de s'en souvenir, puis dans des moments difficiles, d'être capable de leur rappeler qu'est-ce qui est important pour eux, puis de toujours parler le même langage. Et les gens aiment parler de eux, puis ce qui est important pour eux.
Yes. Merci encore. Félicitations, M. Drouin, pour avoir terminé premier en termes d'invités et de recrues. Fait bonne main d'applaudissements à ceux qui ont qualifié pour poser des questions à Gregg. L'appel va finir dans environ 5 minutes ou 5 minutes left. J'aurais une dernière question pour Gregg avant de finir l'appel, avant de laisser le message de la fin. Oli, tu peux peut-être poser la question à Gregg en anglais pour être sûr qu'il comprenne bien. Mais ma question, en fait, c'est plus par rapport à quelle est la vision de Gregg par rapport à juste l'industrie, par rapport à qu'est-ce qu'on fait dans l'industrie, sa vision, dans le fond, par rapport à qu'est-ce qui s'en vient pour le Québec et sa vision par rapport à son équipe, par rapport à Team Dynasty. Oli, je te laisse poser la question à Gregg. Tu peux dire que s'il veut rajouter quelque chose pour finir un peu.
So for the last question, I think I'll add a little intro to the question because as Kevin became SMD, he changed his name to Team Vision because it's very important to him because it's what kept him going when he doubted the business and when he thought of quitting. So the vision has been like a very important thing. So his question is about what's your vision for the industry right now for Quebec as it's growing very quickly, and most importantly the team, and what's your vision for all of that, and also closing words, special words if you want to add anything that you think fitting.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's so much fun to talk about the future, and especially when we think that most people at most jobs, and probably even in most businesses, they don't have those types of conversations. And for me, it's very invigorating. It gives me a great enthusiasm to think about the future and talk about the future in an exciting way. So my vision for Team Dynasty is that in the next 3 years that we will double in size. So in the next 3 years, we will have 3,000 licensed agents, not just 1,500 licensed agents. And if you double the number of agents, of licensed agents in your business, then everything else will double. If you double the number of licensed agents, then everything else will double. Now, our team in Quebec is growing faster than the rest of our team. So I think that our team in Quebec will probably quadruple in the next 3 years, not just double. But I do believe that WFG will become the largest financial services provider in the province of Quebec. I really do believe that because of the speed that we are growing and the quality of people that we have right now and the quality of people that we are attracting to our business. I don't know exactly how long that's going to take, but I think WFG will become the biggest financial services provider in Quebec. And that will happen whether I'm in Quebec, which I mean, I guess I'm not there, but whether I'm a part of it or whether you're a part of it, or even whether Jason is a part of it, I believe that's going to happen either regardless. But we want it to happen with you. So what I want you to be thinking about is how much of that do you want to be a part of, right? That's maybe, let's say that would be WFG having 5,000 licensed agents, and that's going to happen. Do you want to have just one license, be the one licensed agent out of 5,000? Do you want to have 10? Do you want to have 20? Do you want to have 50? Do you want to have 100? You know, I bet Jason and Sam will probably have 2,000 or 3,000. So you could for sure have 2 or 3 or 4 or 500. Maybe if you do want to translate that, Kevin, then I'll make a couple comments at the end to wrap up.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, I was like super trying to like resume this call to give you bullet points, but I was in my mind, but I listened, and what I took out of it is just that I'll try to say it in French. Le but, c'est évidemment de doubler, right? Puis c'est excitant, ça rend enthousiaste de pouvoir parler du futur parce que dans la plupart des industries, les gens n'en parlent pas, ou ils sont gênés d'en parler, ou peut-être qu'ils n'ont pas un heureux futur, fait qu'ils ne veulent pas nécessairement y penser. Fait que c'est vraiment excitant, puis il y a beaucoup de reconnaissance de pouvoir être excité par rapport au futur. Puis son but, c'est de doubler les licences, donc 3000 licences en 3 ans. Puis c'est le domino du départ, right? Fait que c'est tout ça, tout le reste vient à partir de ce point-là. Puis ça va arriver que tu sois là ou que tu sois pas là. Que Gregg soit là ou que tu sois pas là, right? Fait la question à se poser à la fin de cet appel-ci, c'est quoi le rôle que tu veux jouer? C'est quoi la partie que tu veux avoir? À quoi est-ce que ta business, tu veux que ta business ressemble? So it's going to happen without or without you. So just step it up and be excited and be a part of it.
Awesome. Thank you, Holly. You're doing a wonderful job of translating. And maybe the last thing that I want to tell all of you is that you really are part of something very, very special. And I mean that when I think about working in the financial services industry, I think is a wonderful industry to be in that helps people and changes people's lives. And then I think about World Financial Group, and then I think about being part of Jason and Samantha's team on a bigger scale. And then for those of you that are a part of Kevin's team, that you are in business with high quality, incredible people that really, really care. They care about what they're doing for their customers. They care about each and every one of you and want each and every one of you to have a better life. And I think that is very rare in the business world today, or in the corporate world, or in your career, or in your job. I think it's very special to get to work with people and be in business with people that really, really genuinely care. And the very last thing that I want to tell you is that if you want to have a special life, you are going to have to work hard somewhere. If you want to have a special life, right? If you just want to have a life where you just barely make enough money to pay your rent and to buy some groceries and go out for dinner once in a while or something like that, that's different. But if you want to have a special life where you can do the things you want to do with your family, and maybe you can travel and you can save and you can create wealth and all of these types of things, that is going to be hard work. Anywhere, whether it's WFG or somewhere else. And I will tell you from my personal experience and relating to the people that I know, that if you're going to work hard anyways, that your hard work will be rewarded more in this business than any other job or any other business that I have ever seen. And I just want you all to know that I really appreciate being in business with all of you. I love being in business with all of you. I'm very proud of this team, and I can't wait to see more of you getting promoted to SMD. And thank you for choosing to spend some of your time on a Friday evening with me. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Gregg.
Thank you, Gregg, so much. And I know we all took out what we needed to take out, as if everything is just repeat and it's just a special way that someone can say it and that you need to hear it at that time. But something that I just wanted to point out is that Gregg also thought of quitting, and at some point in time, right? So if Gregg thought of quitting, imagine, like, he cannot just bear the thought of like what would happen if he had, right? So we all started at the same place, and that's what like is incredible about this. And we're just we have such a big support system and people that care. And I think that was a great closing message, because at the end of the day, people want to know how much you care about them. So they don't care about how much you know, right? Unless they know how much you care. So this is the magic of our business. It's the magic of our leadership. And at the end of the day, it's what matters to us. So it's why this is the greatest business. And I like to imagine that it's the best team. So thank you, Gregg, for your time. And thank you all for taking the time to be with Gregg also. We love you all, and we respect you all, and we are happy to be in business with all of you.
Thank you again, Greg. Donc, guys, c'est ce qui va terminer l'appel aujourd'hui. J'espère que vous avez pris des notes. J'espère que vous avez appris des choses. Puis, tu sais, je le répète parce que je trouve qu'on le répète jamais assez, mais tu sais, ce soir, ça a été de la bonne information, vraiment, je crois, qui valait beaucoup. Puis, tu sais, c'est bon, oui, de prendre des notes, mais qu'est-ce que vous allez prendre maintenant de ces notes-là? Est-ce que vous allez juste les laisser sur une feuille de papier puis ne pas comme vous en occuper? Vous allez prendre ça pour avancer dans votre vie, dans votre entreprise, puis vraiment mettre en application ce que vous avez appris ce soir. Donc, c'est ce que je vous recommande. Donc, j'espère encore une fois que vous avez aimé l'appel de ce soir. Félicitations à toute l'équipe. C'est vraiment un travail d'équipe si on a atteint ça. Félicitations encore à tous ceux qui ont pu poser leurs questions ce soir. Donc, passez une excellente fin de soirée. Puis, keep going, guys. J'ai hâte de voir les prochaines promotions d'associés, de directeur de marketing, directrice de marketing, directeur principal, directrice principale, les 50K, les 100K qui s'en viennent. Fait que let's go, guys. Je crois en vous, je crois en nous, puis passez une excellente fin de soirée. Merci encore tout le monde. By the way, pour finir, l'appel était enregistré et je vais mettre le lien sur, en fait, le lien va être, le lien YouTube va être mis sur les groupes Messenger de votre équipe respective. Ciao!